Yo, 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 welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I'm your host for the show, Jay McMain.
And I'm your boy, the big bad booty daddy, Hootrosaurus Freakzilla himself.
And I'm your boy Trevor. Live.
Yes, we are live. So, for those of you that have been following the show, we definitely appreciate you guys. So for the first time, we are coming live to you on the Block 105.1 FM radio station. So if you guys are listening to us on the Block 105, we definitely appreciate you. We go live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. So if you guys want to check us out live, comment, see, put faces to the voices, you're definitely more than welcome. But if you do, make sure you subscribe. That's the first and foremost. but yeah, so outside of that, um, let's get to the business. All right, so Raw last on Monday. Um, what do y'all think? What were some high points that kind of stuck out to you guys?
The only high point that stuck out was the Uncle Howdy thing. But the only thing I was confused about, you bring them out and then you go to commercial, and you
Every
come
time.
back and everybody, and you come back and everybody's gone. I'm like, wait.
I
What just
think
happened?
I think they doing that to kind of keep his identity kind of under wraps because there's been a lot of leaks and a lot of people spectating who it might be, and I think we're getting closer and closer to who it may be. And one thing I'm learning about Triple H, every time a rumor breaks out and it's close to the truth, he's changing the narrative. So I think they're just trying to keep that under wraps. I don't think they want to change that, but I do think they trying to keep it under wraps.
Right, I agree.
Outside of that, they had a crazy tag team turmoil match too.
You know what? My high point, and I wish that it didn't go off, was the high point of the show for me is when the Usos came out face to face with the Judgment Day. I like that. I like that. I like that matchup with a healthy Finn, and we could throw whoever Roman or Solo in that 3-on-3 battle. I like the Judgment Day versus the Bloodline. I like that.
All right, so I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. So, all right, so as far as Ant was saying with Uncle Howdy, so if you think about it, you know what I'm saying. The first time Uncle Howdy showed himself on SmackDown for the first time, he was the same way. Like he came out, he laughed, and went to commercial. It was like the second time is when he actually did something. So I guess maybe a couple times in the future But now I'm trying to figure out that the dynamic because Bray's on SmackDown, Alexa's on Raw. So is Alexa gonna get somehow get traded or go to SmackDown to join, or is it gonna be like how they doing double duties? I don't know, but so
What's wrong with him doing double duties? He ain't doing nothing but showing his face and leaving.
hey, I mean, hey, to each his own. I mean, hey,
I
some
mean,
people do.
he ain't putting on no show for us. He ain't gonna wrestle no time soon. Why
Yeah,
not
which
just
is
do the double duties?
which is true. You know what I'm saying? So I guess in that
I
case
think
it
he's gonna
works.
get physical at Rumble though. I think he's gonna get
I,
involved in that pitch black match.
Of course, I definitely see that also. Now, my second point I wanted to touch base on was your boy Dominic coming out dressed like El Pollo Loco, like he's some kind of thugged out Mexican. I'm like, wait a minute, come on, Dom. Like what is going on here?
Yo, what
Like,
blew my minds is when he started quoting Tupac. That's when I was really getting pissed off. I'm like, yo, all right, now this is like, come on. You was locked up for 2 hours, bro. He told me I didn't know when my next meal was gonna come. Okay, Conan came out there dressed like Conan. I'm
right,
like, yo, he don't know who.
exactly.
yo,
I say,
yo,
yo, he don't know who
yo,
his dad
yo,
is. He don't know if he want to be Eddie's
yo.
son, Conan's son, Ray's son. He don't know who he want to be the son to, bro.
Wait. Hey,
That
hey, no lie. When he came out, I bet it's a new Ray. This a new Dominique. We gonna see something different. Then I'm like you, bro. He started to quote Tupac and don't know what his next meal gonna be, and this and that. And then all of a sudden he give Ripley the name Ma. Like, yo, bro, you was in there for less than 30 seconds. They probably didn't even take you to the back or the real game. But the story he put on, though, the story, yo, I was sitting up in my top bunk, and the guy down below had said he was going to smack me in my face. So I got down and said, you got a problem? And that was that. Bro, you know good deal. yo, first of all, bro, you in jail. You jump on that top, bro. You probably would have got sick.
I was around the most dangerous guys in the country, man. I'm like, yo, this guy is really selling this, yo. He's really selling this.
Hey, well, we gotta give credit where credit due. That was creative as hell. It was whack as hell, but it was creative as hell.
First off, he's no bigger than Humberto Carrillo. He's no bigger than a luchador. So who is he slapping? Like, first off,
he ain't slapping nobody. Bro. It's like a mosquito bite. His slap.
Hey, bro, he was slapping his imaginary friend in that time. He like, yo, I got you. Yo. What you say to me?
Exactly.
Like what Trav said, that top bunk, oh, that killed me. When he said, yeah, I was on the top bunk, and I looked down. I said, what you say to me? I'm like, oh, come on.
Yo, hey, real talk, bro. If you don't have that episode recorded, you missed out. That was the most hilarious thing. I don't think we seen nothing that hilarious since R-Truth, no lie. That was so hilarious. But the problem was he kept a straight face doing it though.
How he kept a straight face doing that? That's
bro,
what I didn't
get.
And the Miz, too, you got to give it to the Miz. The Miz kept a straight face too.
Until he called him out, he was like, well, you only been in for 2 hours.
I spectate. I may be wrong. yo, no, Dominique needs a Grammy for that one, boy. He needs a Grammy for that one, boy. I ain't gonna lie. We need to get that man on the red carpet, bro. He deserves a Grammy for that.
Yeah, that was award worthy because I was just like, okay.
Yo, no, boy, my stomach hurt from that. Hey, but you know what though too? Who was that fighting last night? It was in the beginning.
My downfall of Raw is how they keep using the OC to make Judgment Day look good. You bring these guys back from having the greatest indie run they probably had in their careers as a tag team the last couple of years, and you bring them back to Raw to make Judgment Day look good. Like,
well, in that situation, I think right now, I think two groups you cannot afford to break up, and one is the Judgment Day, and one is the Bloodline. And I think since the Judgment Day was built by Edge, one thing I'm not gonna lie, for me, one thing I've been waiting to see is the Judgment Day versus the Bloodline. So I'm not mad at that, but I will say this. I was hella mad on what performance. I always forget their name. Golly, I always forget their name.
Who, Alpha Academy?
No, heck no, not them.
The Prophets.
Yeah, I was amazed with Street Profits, the show they put on that they didn't win it. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I really, really, really want to see the Bloodline versus Judgment Day, and I hope it goes past this next pay-per-view. I hope it's a feud up until WrestleMania or something, or at least until they just about ready to strip the Bloodline from the tag team titles.
Right. Right, and I agree. So now, I mean, the thing about it is like, all right, we've seen the Usos in the Street Profits, so we kind of don't really want to see that again so soon. Don't want to see Alpha Academy and the Street Profits. I mean, Alpha Academy and the Usos, because it's like, all right, that's not going to be entertaining. The OC, I guess they got to wait a little bit to kind of build themselves a little bit more before they go after the tag titles. And then it's like outside of that, like, I mean, the Judgment Day was like Trav said, like they were the hottest group outside of the Bloodline, technically. And I guess, you know, since AJ's out, they're not gonna do so much with the OC yet.
No.
So you know what I'm saying. So you know, once AJ come back, I feel like that's when they're gonna have more.
I will say this. I I remember, you know, when they made up the "You Suck" chant for Kurt Angle.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I need a "You trash, you boo boo, you stink, you something" for Chad Gable. That man is Kurt Angle 2.0 horrible. He is horrible.
Shoes, please.
No, I love Chad. I
Don't
love
talk about
Chad
Gable.
Gable. Yeah, I love Chad.
Wait. I like him in the ring, but I don't like his. I don't like his whole gimmick.
He's a nerd.
Right.
No, he's way past a nerd.
Yeah, that's his gimmick, yo. It's working.
He's way past a nerd.
You know?
He horrible. I don't like him. I don't like his personal his gimmick. And him in the ring is nice. He puts on the show every single night, no lie. But I don't like his gimmick. His gimmick is horrible.
Right. All right. So that being all right. So any other key points that we're gonna touch on about Raw?
Who else fought last night? It was another match.
KO and Baron Corbin for Rhea squash Candice.
Yeah, we knew that was gonna happen.
We seen the Hurt Business. We seen the Hurt Business last night. Cedric and Shelton. Bobby came back.
Right.
Yeah, Bobby came
back. Let me say. Well, he is hurt. I think he's hurt, but I don't think it's a serious injury where he can't walk. You know, it could be.
It's a bruise.
It's a bruise, right? So, let me say this: Austin Theory. I'm gonna give credit to where credit due, man. That guy is putting on the show.
Told y'all.
But one thing I hate is I think they gave him the spotlight way too fast.
Nah, how long you supposed to wait? He's been on the main roster 2 years.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not as fluid as I feel like it should be. I feel like it should be more fluid than it is.
But
like,
you gotta look at it. Look at the Raw roster. Outside of the Miz and Theory, how many other heels would you put in his position?
Well, Bobby should have never turned face.
Everybody.
Bobby should have never. Who else hurt? Well, AJ just got hurt though.
AJ's hurt.
So who else is hurt?
I don't know off the top of my head, but
so AJ's hurt.
Yeah, you got Ciampa
hurt. AJ Ciampa is hurt. Johnny Gargano's now hurt.
Okay.
Who else is hurt? Raquel Rodriguez is hurt.
Yeah.
Obviously Cody's hurt.
Yeah. Seth is now hurt. He's not gonna be there for 3 weeks.
Yeah. He'll be back by Rumble.
Hopefully they're not rushing him back for Mania and he pull another injury happens like how it happened with him and Samoa Joe.
I'm like, yo, it's not. I don't know, man. Something about Theory Ron just don't sit right with me. I'm not saying he ain't doing a great job. He's doing a hell of a job. It's just something about his run just not, right with me. It don't sit right with me.
Outside of Seth, he ain't really beat nobody yet. So give him a couple more major W's, they'll sit right.
Well, didn't he get a W over Bobby Lashley?
Yeah, but that was a triple threat match.
Right.
He pinned Seth.
So he got 2 victories over Seth.
Yeah.
One by default, one by actual pinfall. Okay.
He beat Finn Balor. Before the Judgment Day stuff happened. He got, so it's slow burn. If he pins Lashley 1-on-1, fair and square, then that's when he's gonna get that heat.
And I want to know the extent of. I want to know, was that storyline for our convicted felon, or is Finn really hurt?
He's not. But you saw how Dom was like, yo, get up, Finn.
Wait, and drop the phone. And drop the phone.
You keep calling him the convicted felon, man. I'm like, that man went to jail for trespassing, man. That man ain't no. That man went to jail for trespassing.
That's his dude name, Dominic convicted felon Mysterio. Oh boy,
mommy, I'm not gonna make it in jail. Call for the priest. Call for the priest. I'm not gonna make it.
You know what? I need to trademark that name and send it to Triple H and try to make some money off of it.
Nah, but like Ant said,
Dominique,
he
the,
definitely came out looking like baby Conan. Like I was trying to pinpoint the look, but they kept trying to pull his shirt up, the
yo,
shirt to show the
if he
judgment
would
day.
have
They keep
had
saying he had.
if he would have had a Scully, he would have looked like a tall baby Joker.
Telling you, when they came out, I'm like, yo, what is this? An introduction to Saints Row? Like, what's going on here?
but
Hey, bro, I thought I was playing GTA San Andreas when he came
right,
out.
did y'all peep the jail pose he hit?
Yeah, he did the
Out.
jail.
Oh no, I didn't see it. I didn't
Yeah,
see it. You gotta
you
send it
didn't
to
see
me.
that?
You need to go back and
No,
watch
I
that.
didn't see it.
I gotta send a picture in the group.
Oh,
Yeah,
please, I gotta see it, bro.
I was like, yo.
Hey,
I
man.
All right, y'all. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. So as we all know, well, I don't know if everybody knows, but I'll start with this one. So Stephanie McMahon resigns from WWE as a whole, and I'll read this
Mm-hmm.
article real quick. So Stephanie McMahon stepped in and took over for her father Vince McMahon's spot as CEO when he had to step down due to hush money scandal. A few months later, Stephanie is the one that's stepping away from WWE. As first reported by the Bucks Matthews Bellany, Stephanie McMahon
Can,
resigned as co-CEO of WWE. She stepped down from all of her previous positions, and at this point, details are scarce.
okay, so can we leave it right there before we go into the next section, and
Hmm.
let's kind of touch on that, if you don't mind.
Hmm.
So I think I think this is bad,
Hmm.
not because of Triple H or Vince McMahon is back, but I think this is bad for two reasons. One, because now, uh, although Triple H have creative control, who's not to say, oh God, this is. I'm gonna put it this way, bro. This is bad on every single level because right now I'm sure 90% of the locker room is scared for their job.
That be it, right? Because under the Vince McMahon, Nick Khan era, that's when a lot of releases were being made, and like Triple H obviously brought back a lot of guys that were released. So hopefully, I guess with the hush money scandal, hopefully, Vince doesn't come back and kind of take over everything and go back to how he was running things, and because rumor was that he wanted to come back and have creative control as well, but they kind of was like, nah, you could be, well, at the time just a part of the board members, but as far as creative control, yeah, nah, we're not doing that.
So let
um
me ask you this: Do you think this was all part of it? He asked Stephanie to step in as CEO
No,
so he
no.
could get back in there.
No.
nah.
So Stephanie was going to resign anyway. Like she took a leave of absence and she wanted to spend time and just be a mother and just not have any like real responsibilities when it comes to WWE. So her and Triple H was on the road, and when the whole scandal came down, so when the whole scandal came about, Stephanie and Triple H talked about, hey, what would happen if you kind of took over, and they were on a road trip, and that's when she got the call. Was like, hey, listen, we need you to step in, we need you to take over the company. And she said she thought about it, and she was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do it. So she initially was gonna leave anyway, but being that what I'm saying, but then like I said, with the whole Vince thing, she had to come back and take a step in and take in that role. Now that Vince is back, she was like, okay, now I can go back to what I was doing prior to this, because now I really don't have to be here because Vince is here and it's in good hands. And I'll read the email that she put on Twitter to her staff once we're finished with Ant's thought.
I feel like I don't know, bro. I don't know what I feel. I don't know. I don't know if I want to give it a chance because Hunter still got creative control. But at the end of the day, he can always do something that Vince don't like, and Vince like, no,
Hmm. Right,
bring back Goldberg. We need
right.
Goldberg. But Like, I don't know if Vince is coming back to be the quiet man behind the scene like he once was. Maybe you didn't know, like, oh damn, Vince is still there. You remember there was times we didn't know if Vince was doing anything. If he could be that Vince and let Hunter run the show, because like right now, like with Vince coming back, it's like he picks his moments. It's like WrestleMania season, and then you got all these free agents that's about to be available and from different companies, and not low free agents. I'm talking about top guys that is about to be available in the next 2 to 3 years. The Bucks, Kenny, Jay White, the Tonga Boys. And like now you want to come back now, like when all these when the scenery could change, like when the scenery could change, like it was a chance, there was a possibility that we could have had the elite in WWE. You know how and then Will Ospreay too, guys like that. But I know it's a high if, but the elite leaving AEW, they say Cody would never leave. But I don't know, bro. My mind is all over the place when I'm hearing it. I don't know what to think, bro. I'm kind of nervous because WrestleMania season, this is supposed to be Triple H's biggest moment of his operations, like, position. This is his mania. This is supposed to be his major mania.
So let me ask you this. They said all hands was on deck in the meeting they had the other day about Triple H keeping creative control.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all think in that moment at that table, that they made it known that no matter what happened, that Triple H was going to have complete, full creative control?
Yeah, they
or
have
do you
to.
think? But I'm saying, do you think it's going to be okay, Vince?
If they wasn't going to give him that same position, I think Hunter would have walked out with his wife.
Okay. That's respectable.
But I also feel, and like you said, I mean, I feel like that it comes to a point where Vince, even though Triple H has creative control, but if Vince doesn't agree with something, he's definitely gonna nix it or be like, nah, I don't agree. Now to go to your point where you say all these free agents, like you said, the Bucks, the Elite, saying Jay White, Will Ospreay, like a lot of them were, kind of excited to be like, hey, all right, Triple H is in charge, cool.
Yeah.
I can actually, go to WWE and make a change, or it's something I always wanted to do. But now Vince is back, so even though, like, Vince may not have nothing to do with it, but a lot of them may be like, oh, nah, that's the same WWE that people were running about, people that were complaining about.
Because look, for example, Matt Cardona's wife just signed. She's supposed to replace Mandy Rose in Toxic Attraction. He's supposed to come back. Now, he was supposed to come back as Matt Cardona. Now, with Vince there, he might put in Hunter there. I don't want him back as that. That's too real. It's too raw. Give me the Long Island IZ guy. Give me the woo, woo, woo. Yeah.
Right, and negotiations
I want woo, woo, woo back. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. No, I
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look, Jonah just came back. A lot of guys just signed a couple days before Vince stepped in. The Jonah, Chelsea Green, supposedly. They said she's been signed.
Yeah, I read that she's been signed for a couple of weeks now.
And Hikuleo
just haven't made her appearance.
Another bloodline family member is supposed to be coming over. Hikuleo, he just signed, but for his graces, Vince loves big guys, but he's an athletic big guy. He's not an Omos. He's not a.
And then they just signed somebody else from New Japan.
No, they signed somebody from New Mexico, Dragon Lee, another little guy.
No. They signed another guy. I was reading this today. I'll put it in the article. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, the Samoan Roman and them cousin Hikuleo.
No. It was another guy. It's somebody from New Japan that they signed, but they just like literally signed him. In the rain once Vince came back. They just signed. The article dropped today. I gotta look it up. It's on my phone.
I know Dragon Lee is coming over in February.
Yeah, I know Dragon Lee. I know about Dragon Lee.
He's a luchador, and you know how Vince feels about the little guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm up in the air with it. I'm willing to give it a chance, but if it like last night, I felt a little bit of Vince's touch on Raw. It was mediocre as shit.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was.
I'm not gonna say mediocre. I think Triple H's mind wasn't all the way there. I think he was more focused on trying to keep his creative control than he was focused on the show. I think he was more in that office mode than he was in that okay, let me create this perfect show for the fans
That
type
could
deal. Because
create.
it
Cause
can
why?
create a problem, but I just think it was in that moment though. I don't think that's gonna be every week. I think yesterday
Cause
was a
now,
pivotal day.
cause now, is he gonna put on shows to make Vince happy, or he's gonna keep doing what he wants to do? That's been
And
making
that's
us
what
happy.
and that's what I'm saying. Like I think that was a pivotal moment yesterday. I think he had to really, in my opinion, I think he really had to fight for that privilege of putting on great shows every single night. Because Vince is somewhere like a job. He treats the company like a job. The less
Hmm.
the less he can get, the less he wants less to do more. We seen
Right.
it years and years again. We seen him use Brock, Undertaker, John Cena. We seen him use Edge. We seen him use all those guys for years and years and years and years. And we seen him cut a lot of great guys, Braun Strowman, Samoan Joe, and more. There's just a few off the top of my head, but and more. But I think last night it was like Triple H mind wasn't on the show, in my opinion. I think Triple H mind was I gotta keep creative control. I gotta keep Raw and SmackDown relevant. I got to do something to provide the fans with something they like.
Yeah,
Because we know when Vince was here, we were losing fans.
yeah. But now, and then another thing, you know how Vince doesn't like tag teams. Remember before Vince was leaving, they was feeding us. It looked like the Street Profits is gonna break up before Vince left. Remember that. Now,
Well, I
now
think
when
that's
I was Vince
inevitable.
back, does he tell Hunter, yo, split them up? I want them split up.
I, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't care who it is. That's inevitable, bro. That's gotta happen. Montez
Yeah,
Force is
but not right now
way
though.
too good. Not right
Not
now,
right
but
now.
I think it's inevitable. I think Montez Force has really surpassed a tag team title run, bro. I can see them being friends, but I see him sprouting out on his own, bro. He's just way too good, bro. And not only is he good, but he's getting better each and every single
Yeah, that's what
match.
it is. And Dawkins is too. That's why I said you don't split
And
them up until
Dawkins, yeah,
you don't
but
split
I
them up
got
until Dawkins is
right.
ready to go.
But Dawkins level up like one or two every match. Montez Force is like 10 or 12 every match. It's a big difference, bro. Like I said, I can see them sprouting out on their own, coming back to do a couple tag team here and there. But that tag team, unfortunately, it's inevitable before they break up. It's inevitable. You can't keep that tag team together forever. I'm sorry.
No, I
I
don't
love
want
that
them
tag
to.
team.
I don't want them to, but just not right now is the time. Because
You just, yeah,
like
you
I
don't
said,
want to break them up too fast.
yeah, Vince don't like
Yeah,
tag
yeah.
teams, and that's the only thing Triple H is trying to really needs to work on is the tag team division. Because Judgment Day is not beating the Usos. We know that it's already bound
Definitely
for.
not.
We're gonna have another Street Profits Usos one last
Or
time.
or you know who I wouldn't mind seeing beat the Usos, and I think both characters are very much deserving of it, and they're coming up on the boards real fast. Not as a tag team, but as a single. But we just seen them as a tag team here and there. I think, in honesty, I wouldn't mind because, like I said, they deserve it. Not because they're a great tag team or nothing like that, but I think Braun Strowman and Ricochet could deserve the WWE Tag Team titles.
Hmm.
But wait. But if you wanted to turn the page, Imperium with Gunther, or however you say his name, they can take the tag team titles from the Usos. But I think at some point in time, with Ricochet, his stock and his his in-ring performance is getting better and better. With Braun being his tag team partner, I think they deserving of the tag team titles. Because the last time we seen Braun with the tag team
They ain't
titles,
beat
he
nobody.
won. He won it with a 7-year-old kid, I think.
Yeah, but you can't put the belts on them. They ain't beat nobody.
Right. I was
I
gonna
said,
say that
I'm
whoever
not
does
saying
take
right
the
now.
belt. Right, but I'm saying, but whoever does take the belts from the Usos, there has to be a build. Like you can't just put a team together and all of a sudden, like for instance,
Yeah.
Judgment Day. We know Judgment Day is not gonna win because like Andrew said, there's no build to it. Like all of a sudden, like they win a random tag team turmoil match that was put together. Nobody knew it was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Because like they were gonna put Dolph Ziggler and Ali together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, so you put together a tag team turmoil match. Now, granted, it was a good look that, the Judgment Day started off and they ended up winning, so that they, what I'm saying, so they fought through. They basically beat every
Yeah,
tag
the
team in there.
convicted felon.
So yeah, as El Pollo Loco, yeah, he ended up, helping to win. But yeah, so it's
The
like, so you
convicted
put.
felon.
So yes, like I said, you put so it's like, but at the end of the day, like I said, you have, like, even like you said, Imperium, like Imperium would have to start building their resume. They definitely would have to start winning a whole lot of matches and just putting it out there of what they can do.
So yo, I know we on the Stephanie McMahon, but let me ask you this: who wins Friday night? Braun or Gunther?
Gunther's winning that.
Gunther's winning that match. Even if the only way Braun winning is by disqualification, where Gunther's
Yeah.
probably looking like he's
The
gonna
only
lose.
way I see Gunther
Imperium.
losing, the way they build in Ricochet, I see Ricochet the little man beating the big dog. That's the only way I can see that
At some
happening.
point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then back to that situation y'all was saying about what we were just talking about before.
We talking about
Stephanie?
the
Tag
Usos.
teams, right? Yeah, the tag
Yeah.
team. If the story keeps going the way it is, we all know it's gonna be Sammy and KO that dethrone them.
Right.
You know what?
Everybody,
I'm not excited about that tag team, but I am.
because it goes back. You know why it's so exciting? Because they got so much history. Sammy and
Yeah,
KO.
but I love that Bloodline versus
And it'll be that
KO though,
moment.
man.
It'll be a big moment
Wait,
for them. 'cause
okay,
they
so
never
let me
won
ask you this,
titles.
because I'm not. Do we still have Survivor Series? Because they cut a lot of pay-per-views.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Survivor Series,
Yeah.
SummerSlam, WrestleMania, and Royal Rumble are their four big ones.
So
they definitely never going to get rid of that.
I would love to see Sami Zayn and the Bloodline versus Kevin Owens and a team of his choosing for
Had that.
Survivor Series.
We just had that.
Yeah, we did have that technically.
Technically.
Sammy's not gonna be past the bloodline. After Rumble, he's not gonna be in the bloodline.
Yeah, I don't even think the Bloodline is going to be together by because we're talking about November. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're just in January, so yeah, I don't.
What you talking about?
see
Wait.
Bloodline being
Survivor
together that
Series
long.
is in November? Because my
Yeah.
mind is all jacked up for the pay-per-view. Oh,
Yeah,
no, not that
And
far. Not that
and the
far.
way they
And the only reason why I
and the way
said
they building Solo won't be a part of the bloodline for too long.
And the only reason why I say Survivor Series because it was like group against group, but no, I don't want to see it that long. But I was saying this to myself last night or the other night when I seen Roman on TV. I think once he gets to 1,000 days as champion in a row, I think then that'll be the perfect time to say, okay, let's go ahead and make this turn storyline. He didn't surpass everybody. I don't think there's nobody even close to 1,000 days straight with the WWE title.
Yeah,
honestly,
he's losing one of them belts at Mania.
Of course, and I definitely feel like that's when he, you know what I'm saying, I think that's how he's gonna lose. Like
I heard strip. He was gonna get stripped of a title, not lose the title, because they wanted to keep it winning. No. Seriously, I was reading this article, but I heard that they were going to strip him of a title and not make him lose because they didn't want him to lose. They wanted to strip him of one of the titles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only because USA. I don't know if y'all know this, but USA has been complaining about not having their own champion on their show. Yeah, because they're the number one brand. They're the top brand when it comes to WWE, and they've been with USA for over 20 years.
Right, and Roman talking both belts. He barely shows up on SmackDown, so he's definitely not going to show up on Raw. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, they definitely have to, because right now Theory is their champion. You know.
Oh my God.
And with Cody coming back, you want to build Cody after that match he had with Seth. You gotta let him pin Roman, whether it's fair or some outside interference.
Here's the thing:
Cody has to pin Roman.
That Cody and Seth match, it was so good. I don't think you have to build Cody. I think you just need to let Cody come back. You
gotta let him pin Roman after that. You can't just put the belt on him. You gotta let him.
No. I get you, but I'm just saying I don't think he needs a build though from that match, bro. When you go back and
Oh
you
no.
watch that match, that was a classic match, bro.
Yeah, but he gonna need a
Anybody,
build because believe me, it's wrestling community. We forget about niggas fast, man.
Yeah, quick, fast,
Yeah,
nobody,
quick,
quick
fast.
fast.
nobody get forgetting about Cody. But go ahead
I
with the
All
do.
next
right,
news.
all right. So as we know, Vince is again executive chairman of WWE, and
Boo!
so Stephanie took to Twitter, and so she said in the shocking turn of events, Stephanie McMahon resigned from WWE. She released a public statement on the matter to explain her side of things in a very public relations polished way. She also made it clear that Vince McMahon has returned to WWE and he's taken over again as executive chair of the company's board of directors. So Stephanie said, about 8 months ago, I took a leave of absence, and within a few weeks, unexpectedly, I had the opportunity of a lifetime. I had the privilege to return as co-CEO and chairwoman of the board of WWE. I cannot put into words how proud I am to have led what I consider to be the greatest company in the world, working alongside a remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I have known in my co-CEO Nick Khan.
Bullshit.
Our founder, yeah, our founder Vince McMahon has returned as executive chair and leading an exciting process regarding strategic and alternatives. And with Nick Khan's leadership and Paul Triple Levesque as chief chief content officer, I'm confident WWE is in a perfect place to continue to provide unparalleled creative content and drive maximum value for shareholders. WWE is in such a strong position that I have decided to return to my lead and take it one step further with my official resignation. I look forward to cheering on WWE from the other side of the business, where I started when I was a little kid. As a pure fan, I will always remain dedicated to WWE. I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and our fans, and I am grateful to have all you as partners. Thank you for everything. Then, now,
Let,
forever
let me
together, Steph.
let me say one thing, Stephanie. If you ever hear this podcast, you don't love us. You don't love us as fans. You do not love us as fans. Because if you loved us, you wouldn't have resigned. You would have waited till your daddy sold the company and then resign. So you don't love us. Don't lie to us. You don't love us.
All right, so the
Sir!
man, the myth, the
Yep.
legend, Saheem the Dream.
What's
That
going
boy
on,
showing up
brother?
like John Cena every blue moon.
The man got me working hard. The man, you know, putting them shackles on my feet, but I'm gonna get free, baby. I'm gonna get
All
free.
right, all right. So, so we were just touching base on Stephanie resigning and leaving
I'm
the company
sorry.
for good.
I'm sorry,
And
Jay. I'm sorry, Jay. Before we continue, the big bad booty, daddy.
so
Yeah,
so yeah
stupid.
so we were talking about, like I said, Stephanie resigning for good, resigning from the company as a whole, and Vince taking back over as chief as the chairman of the board. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm very saddened by that. I just read the news like literally like 10 minutes ago, and I was going to hit the group chat like, yo, Stephanie just resigned, but I think in her resigning, that shows how much like how power hungry Vince is, how much like pure effery it is for this guy to really hold the company hostage and come back, and how much is disliked and disdained. You know,
Hmm.
like Stephanie felt like it's her time, it's her and Triple H's time to run the company and shake things up and make their mark, and Vince just don't want to let go.
Right.
I think everybody, I think we all know that, like, yo, Vince, let it go. But Vince is like, and I understand Vince's position of how he built the company to be where it is, but it's like, bro, it's about that time for you to let it go. You took it as far as you could take it. Now let it go. You know, and that's the problem. So my thing is just, I'm just sad because I don't want Stephanie to leave. I feel like, Stephanie would have definitely tried to give us what we wanted. It almost seemed like, even just with her and Triple H, it was just like she was really letting Triple H do his thing. She wasn't trying
Right.
to interfere, just make sure the business was done right. And I felt like she probably had some creative input, but for the most part, she was really letting Triple H, Sean and Paul really do their thing. So we know with Vince how he's holding up the whole WWE with, not allowing the WWE to strike any new media deals because that's what brings in extra revenue for the company. We know he's going to try to add some little clause in there or try to negotiate some kind of way to kind of wiggle his way back into creative to try to get full control of the company somehow, some way.
Well, so from what I read and I was reading that with him stepping back in, that was the only way WWE could be sold, as long as he was in chairman. From my understanding is what I was reading in the contract or whatever it was when he had to retire because of the scandal, that was a clause that WWE couldn't be sold without his permission, which is his right.
Right,
but
it is true.
He took it a level higher and was petty. Was like, yo, we're not gonna sell the company. We're not gonna do anything unless I'm back on the board. So the WWE like, yo, we got to do something because with Vince being gone, we don't own anything. We just the board. He's the owner. He's still the owner no matter what. But I think the board wants WWE sold to someone else because they're trying to get away from this Vince McMahon era. So they were like, okay, we're going to let him back in. So I don't know if y'all read it, but the 3 board members that stepped down or they stay, he fired. Right. One of them got fired. The other 2, the minute they heard the news that he was coming back, they walked away. They said in sources close in the story I read was saying that they said once Vince left, the room was so much more joyful. It was so much more peace. It was so much easier to work. And then once they found out he was coming back, they like, oh no, we got to go. But the other person that stayed, from my understanding, that person was very adamant about not letting Vince in. And of course, the news got to Vince, and that's why he got fired or she got fired. I don't know. But that's the story I read. Now, I'm not saying that my side of the story is true, so don't quote me on that because y'all know sources lie sometimes. I just want to put it out there.
So I read the same. No, I'm sorry. I read the same thing. They said the same thing, but this is what I want to say real quick, Jay. Travis, and I want to say this real quick. I think that what Vince is trying to do is I think it's 2 things. Either A, he's going to sell the company and really really get rid of the company, or B, he's going to try to sell it to somebody, whereas he can still have some level of ownership as well. Get everybody else to sell their shares, or because nobody else is going to sell their shares. But I think what has to happen is he has to sell his shares. But somehow, some way, he's going to try to find a way to finesse it into where he sells his shares to somebody, to where he reelects a whole new board and try to reposition himself back into
my question to that is, who got enough money to do that? And if he did do that, that person got to be filthy.
Donald Trump. He's gonna sell it to his boy.
I mean, wait. Right. Let's be real. Let's be real. If I want to run a business, I want Donald Trump running my business because that man is a businessman. Let's be real. Now, I would say this: if that's the case, if you don't find somebody with Donald Trump type money, you have to cut a major deal for that to happen, Si. He got to take a quarter. He got to take about maybe anywhere from $80 to $1 billion cut in order to make that happen, where he can literally finesse his way into staying on the board. I don't see him.
So I'm glad y'all brought that up because that goes into my next rumor and my next point. So there's one name who is paying close attention to this scandal, and it's going to go into what you were saying too, Trav. So
it better not be Nick. It better not be Tony Khan.
So yes, Tony Khan is paying close attention to Vince McMahon's WWE return. So the article states Vince McMahon pulled a ruthless business tactic when he took a seat on the WWE board of directors once again, He also brought Michelle Wilson and George Barrios back with him and removed people who were involved in the hush money scandal against him. This move was supposed to be a setup for a future sale of the company, and the entire pro wrestling world is very interested to see what's going on. While speaking, hold on. While speaking in the zone, Tony Khan was asked about Vince McMahon's return to WWE and whether he's paying attention. Tony Khan was very succinct in his response, but made it clear that he's paying close attention to the situation. So Tony Khan said, "Yes, absolutely, I'm following it very closely." He said, then Tony Khan previously joked about Vince's return. He wondered why everyone was being so nice to him recently, just period after Vince McMahon's return to the board of directors. Only time will tell if WWE looks like in a few months or who owns the company. Obviously, Tony Khan will be keeping a close eye on the business things because it's his business.
I'm gonna let y'all have that before I go off.
Yeah, you know what I was just thinking, right? And then I'm gonna get into that too, and I'm gonna jump right into that. It's still the same subject. With the Vince coming back there and him threatening to sell. You don't think, I don't think the family gets along like how we think they do. You don't think he told Stephanie, "Yo, if you don't step down, I'm gonna sell"?
Probably.
No, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I know. Because I don't know if y'all seen MJF post about companies that love him.
Yeah, he's trolling.
I get that. But each one of those companies that was listed on that list, whether he was trolling or not, has more than enough money to buy WWE with no questions asked. So no, I don't think he told that, because if that's the case, okay, let's put it this way. If the company sold by Friday, then yes. But if it ain't sold by Friday, then heck no.
And now back to this Tony Khan situation. Yeah, would I like to see that being a AEW guy myself? No, because Tony Khan's gonna want to run everything by himself, and we see how that's going for him with just one company. He's trying to run Ring of Honor by himself. We see how that's going for him. He's not going to be able to run WWE by himself. And now, to see him and Hunter working together, yes, I could see that happening. Now, if he does buy it and tell Hunter, "Yo, listen, I'm just buying it. I'm not going to be in your ear. I'm putting everything in your lap. I'm going to be over here doing what I got to do with AEW to build to get to where you at right now. So here, take this, run with it. I'm going to be over here with AEW Ring of Honor doing my thing. If you need me, call me."
But can you imagine Triple H, the what he would have with both rosters at his disposal?
Oh my God, the matches he would have, the dream matches. It would be like playing WWTK in real life.
Right.
True.
Yeah, y'all ready for this? Because I'm not. Oh, go ahead, Si. Go ahead. Say what you gotta say, because y'all ain't gonna like what I gotta say.
I felt like this is my thing. I felt like, and I mean, I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and it's gonna be a little fiery, but Vince is a ass nigga, straight up, like because the simple fact that he could have sold his share to Stephanie and Vince and Triple H, like when he knew like he was coming under fire. I felt like the admirable thing for him to do as a man, and an honorable and admirable thing for him to do was to say, you know what, it is what it is. You know what, it's time for me to hang it up. I'm 70-something years old. I need to retire anyway. I did all I could do in this business. I'm gonna sell my shares to Stephanie and Triple H. You know, clean out their bank accounts, regardless. You know what I'm saying? Because it's worth it. It's worth it because they're gonna make something. They're gonna make something good. They're gonna make their money back with the company. But I felt like the most honorable thing for him that he should have done was sell his shares to them. And the fact that he didn't do that, now he wants to go and sell to the highest bidder. And I'm like, bro, you 77 years old. You got to pop Viagra to have sex with whoever you having sex with. You ain't hit the gym like how you hit the gym. You ain't got stamina like that, bro.
That's a genetic jackhammer.
Yeah, man. You got big cojones, man.
It's like, what you need all that money for? You had all the money in the world. Like, yo, go live your life. Like, they said that Vince McMahon would be at every taping, every live event, every SmackDown, every Raw, every NXT. He's there all the time. It's like, dog, you didn't take a break in 30 to 50 something years. Like, bro, go live your life. Let them take care of the company. Like, you did all that you needed to do. You brought out your competition. You got you made WWE the biggest wrestling promotion in the world. You did it all. what else is there for you to do? Let it go.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
agree
my
with you.
take.
So I'm about to touch on that. So first of all, let me start out by saying, Tony Khan, if you can't handle a small problem like CM Punk, what makes you think you can handle AEW?
He
And
handled CM Punk.
no, he didn't. He
He sent
didn't.
his ass home.
He sent him home. Wait. He sent him home after the hour rant on the pod. Man, listen, I was just watching my boy. So one of my partners, a good friend of mine, he had never seen the MJF pipe bomb that happened a couple months ago, right? He didn't see it. He didn't know nothing about it. So I showed it to him, and he started watching the CM Punk interview afterwards because that's what YouTube played right afterwards, right? So the entire time, the first 10 to 15 minutes of that interview, Tony Khan's face looked like he didn't know what to say, what to do, how to do it, when to do it, or none of that. So back to what I was saying. If you can't handle a simple problem like CM Punk, and you can't get people to understand, because as much as I want to watch AEW, as I said before, they got too many freaking titles. I don't know if they got a US title or NWO title or TNT title. They got so many titles everywhere because they got two different companies running off off literally 3 hours a week. If you can't handle your business, you can't bring your brand up. Why do you want to dip into someone else's stuff?
But that's
I
but
get
that's
it.
why but think about it, that's what Ant said. Ant said, "Hey, listen, I'm just gonna buy you guys,
I
but
get
Triple
that.
H, you do
But
what you
we
gotta
but
do."
we but we all know, bro, ain't nobody doing that, bro. We talking about
Why not?
WWE.
Why not? If they
Because
don't,
here's the thing. Okay, so Ed, let's take it from my perspective, bro. Are you literally are you literally going to buy $1 billion company
and let somebody else run it.
and and let someone else run it without your
That's
input in it?
absolutely.
Absolutely not.
Hell
I
yeah!
would.
Somebody like
Absolutely
Triple
Why
H.
not.
not?
Triple H
So
is gonna
So
make
you're
me
whoa,
money.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
I could
whoa,
just
whoa,
sit at
whoa,
home
whoa,
and
whoa,
collect
whoa,
checks.
whoa, whoa. So y'all sitting here telling me right now, y'all would buy $1 billion company that you
Yes,
know knowledge of, that you have
yes,
knowledge of, that
yes.
you would
but we
sit
don't.
here
But
and
we
no,
don't
no,
know
no. I'm
knowledge of
saying
it.
no. I'm not talking about the wrestling business. I'm just talking about a regular business that you know knowledge of. So let me get okay. So let's take a prime example. Let's just say, Ed, what what's your favorite thing to do outside of watching wrestling and things of that? Give me one thing you like to do outside of that.
Basketball.
All right, so let's take it there, right? I'm just saying I like basketball. So let's say you had enough money right now to buy in the NW in the NBA, right? Right now,
Mhm.
you got enough money to buy it. Are you
Mhm.
literally and you know the game, you know the knowledge, you know how to make it better, you know things to do to make it better, right? So you're
Mhm.
literally gonna sit here and tell me that you're gonna put all your money into the NBA and buy it and let somebody that probably watch football run the damn thing. No, you're not.
No, but that's
You're
not the
not.
situation. We're talking about
Right?
somebody
It's
like
not.
Triple
Okay.
H.
So
We're talking about somebody
so
like
even
Triple H.
let's take it a step further. Even if you had Magic behind you, let's just say Magic was over there running the show. You're gonna
Mhm.
put your 2 cents
Yes.
in because you
If I
want
could sit at
your
home and
to
collect
own
the
the
checks
business.
and not do nothing and just answer a phone and be like, "Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Yeah, all right. Talk to you in a month. Bye."
Yeah, we talking broke man business right now. That's we
I'm
in the
telling
broke
you.
man mentality. Because
If I could
if
sit
I
at
buy a
home
billion
and
dollars,
collect checks,
wait, no. What I'm saying is I would love to sit at home and collect checks and do that. But what I'm saying is I'm not buying $1 billion company without putting my 2 cents in. Period. That's not
We're
going
not
to
saying.
happen.
So the thing about it, we're not saying that you're not gonna put your 2 cents in it because obviously you're gonna want to put input because that's your passion. But what we're saying is you have with Triple H with Tony Khan, if he does buy WWE, Triple H is proven. You know what I'm saying? So even if he doesn't say anything, he can sit back and be like, all right, even though if I don't say anything, Triple H's got it. So of course, from time to time, he'll be like, "Yo, listen, all right, what do you think about this?" Or I was thinking, "Hey, maybe we could try this." Because like I said, even though Vince is back as the chief executive or the board of directors, or chief or whatever title he has again. If we sit here and think that Vince is going to go to meetings every day and not give his input on what the product, we're bugging. But at the same time, just because you're there, don't mean you have to do it. Don't mean it's going to happen all the time. Like I said, with us, we know how to fall back and kind of like, all right, you know what, let such and such run the show. So if I brought WWE right now, you think I may tell Triple H, I may give him my ideas like, hey, yo, Trips, all right, yo, peep this. I think you should put Ronda, Sonya Deville, and Shayna Baszler. I feel you should put them together like that. That would be a fire faction. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give my input, but I'm not gonna make it like this is what he has to do. You know what I'm saying?
I get that, but what I'm saying is Tony Khan is having a problem running his own business. He's having a problem running his own business, and he bought a whole nother business.
That one little incident.
I'm not talking about that one incident. We're not even talking about that one incident. I'm talking about the whole show in general.
But in Tony Khan's defense, this is Tony Khan's first time running a wrestling promotion. So, you know, like, we can't expect him to run it like Vince automatically.
No. I'm not talking about it like this, and I respect that. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is,
show when Triple H was like running NXT, like.
Right, and you got to think about it like this too. When Vince bought WCW, did he run WCW? No, he integrated WCW guys, the one he liked, into WWE.
I get that. But what I'm saying is, my thing is, like you said, this is his first wrestling promotion, right? He already has two. Tony Khan, focus on those two, get those two aboard and above and beyond, and then think about doing something different. Right now, I feel like I think Vince is going to stretch this sale out. I think we're going to see Vince in that chair for another 3 to 5 years. So be prepared. I think he's going to stretch this out as long as he possibly can. Be prepared. But I think if the USA, Fox, TBS, Peacock, or somebody like that bought WWE and said, okay, well, Triple H, we know nothing about the business. We just want you to run the company. That's different from a person that knows the business buying the thing and be like, yo, like you said, let's put Shayna, Ronda, and such all together, and that's my input. What I'm saying is this right here. Right now, I feel like Tony Khan needs to focus on AEW and Ring of Honor, and that is it. He doesn't need to put his 2 cents in on WWE. Because even though I do like the idea of Triple H having AEW, Ring of Honor, and WWE superstars at the grasp of his hand, as much as I love that idea, it's so many matches I can sit here and tell you I would love to see. I'm not going to lie, and I think these guys would have put on an amazing show. But at the same time, if I'm looking at it from a fan and a business perspective, and especially from a business perspective, Tony Khan needs to focus on AEW and Ring of Honor. We already seen the MJF pipe on. Let me ask y'all this. If he can't pay MJF what he deserves, what makes you think he's going to get these WWE stars what they deserve? What makes you think he's going to run the business the way it should be ran? I'm not talking on him personally, but from what I see is Tony Khan may be a decent owner. I can't say everything CM Punk and MJF has said about him is true or false. But from what I'm looking at right now, he got to focus on him.
All right, so we got to wrap up. All right, so we all know that the MJF thing was a work. It
was half and half.
That was a work. So anyway,
half and half.
We wrap up. Do you anyone we got 30 seconds to give your thoughts or anything y'all want to say to end the show.
Hey man, go ahead.
Just hope everything keeps going good the way it is, even though Satan is back in his chair and in his throne. Thanos, I'm gonna call Vince Thanos because he wants to take over everything. Let's just hope he doesn't put his fingers in the tea, man. Let's just hope he doesn't put his sugar in the tea. The tea is fine, Vince. We don't need no more sugar. The Kool-Aid is good.
Right.
All right. So I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say, listen, I don't care what happens, man. I just want to see great wrestling matches and great storylines for all y'all tuning in the radio. Thank you. We appreciate y'all. But I just hope, like he said, Vince don't put his hands too deep in the cookie jar.
Sorry.
I think he offline, bro.
All right. All right. So we definitely thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for a wonderful show. If you're tuning in on the Beat 105 1 FM, thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna be with you guys every Thursday at 1 p.m. If you're tuning in on live on Facebook and YouTube, definitely don't forget to check us out every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. We go live every Tuesday. So definitely subscribe to the channel, YouTube and Facebook. We'll definitely give you a shout out, definitely show you love. And again, if you want to put fake voices to their faces, you know what I'm saying, you're definitely more than welcome. So again, Tuesdays at 9, Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. Definitely look us up on YouTube and Facebook. I've been your host, J Mac Main.
And I'm your boy, man, the big bad booty daddy, the big bad Hootrosaurus, Freakzilla himself.
And it's Trevor in the building, y'all.
And I'm your boy Saheem. The Dream.
All right, and we'll catch you guys on another episode of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. Peace.
Peace.